Hi, Patty. I hope you're well. I'm sorry for the delay in this. There's a lot here and there's a lot more to come. So I figured it would be a good idea to just start out mainly on the first floor. I have some things for the second floor as well. But um, as mentioned, there's a lot here. So let's go through all of these. I'm going to refer back to these slides and then refer to these as we need them, just like in the past PowerPoint. Um, this is the floor, which is so beautiful. This is the tile that we're going to do on the wall in the primary. Um, I have lights to show you, so lots of things for us to review. These plans are just kind of to show us sizes and how things that we've talked about and things that you like work. So I will refer back to that too. So for the foyer, we decided we're going to do the Weeping Pine wallpaper right here on all the walls. And then up here, we're going to do that beautiful blue and a higher gloss. I was thinking in here, we might want to keep this white or do the whole ceiling that blue kind of lacquered look. So let's talk a little bit about that. We're getting pricing from our painter for all of the paint that needs to be done. So in terms of this being in the foyer when you come in, I absolutely love this paper. I have it. I can show it to you. It looks so amazing together with the other paper. It's really, really, really beautiful. And I think it's bright and I think it's fun and it's just such a great look. I also ordered a bunch of other paper, some stripes that are pretty. We have this that could also work really well, a whole bunch of other things. But I do love this and I love this. And then in terms of the lights for the foyer, um, let's pick the lights for over the island first, and then kind of balance them out. I would love to have everything, all of our light fixtures have a flow. That doesn't mean that they have to look exactly the same. I just want them to feel connected in some way. I know we talked about a pendant. I'm also thinking that something like this could work really well, or even something like this from Anthropologie in the blue could work really well. You had mentioned liking these. I'm not a fan. I think they look kind of inexpensive. So I'm going to try to sway you away from that. But even like something like this that picks up on the lights for over the island. Now, these were my favorite for the lights over the island, and I might try to persuade you to go for these. It's expensive. So for three of these, it's about 6 grand. But these are so important and are really kind of just a pattern for how the whole space is going to feel. I absolutely adore these. Here they are here, three of them. I think we could go a lot less expensive on some other things in order to have these. And I just think they would be beautiful. These are another light that I really love. I don't like them quite as much as these, and they're not that much less expensive, but I'm putting these all into plans so that we can see how they feel over the island. But I mean, look at this. Isn't it just so beautiful? And lighting can be such an amazing and important a feature to a house. I also love how both of these have the milk glass, which allows for so much light, but doesn't condense, doesn't get that kind of a dirty condensed look that something that's completely glass might get. You would like these. I'm not a huge fan of these either, but again, this is your house, so we can definitely look at these. These are pretty. They're not my favorite, but I think they're a nice kind of compromise. These are also pretty. They kind of remind me of some of the lights that you like. Again, not my favorite, but they're pretty. So let's talk a little bit about these. I also thought these could work in the foyer. They're a nice size. I think that could work as an option. So let's look through all of these and decide what works best. So in the foyer, here was our inspo pick. So for over here, so I would just move whatever we use down so that it's kind of it works right in the same line of the openings of this room here. So I love this, and I know you have a mirror from Serena and Lily. I think that something with a gold finish would be beautiful for out there. I think it would really, really kind of just make the space feel super beautiful. And then we can use the one that you got someplace else. These are from Restoration Hardware. They're fairly reasonable. So for the tables for in there, I love this table from West Elm. It's super cool. I think it would be really beautiful on that wall. The depth is a really nice depth. It's only 16 inches deep. So when you look here, this is about 16 inches. So it doesn't consume too much of that area. This is another one that's nice. It's very, very simple. This is another one from West Elm that I like. It's a little bit smaller. It's 14 inches deep, but I think that could really work well. And then these console tables from Serena, that this finish is the bed finish, which I love. We could use two of these put right next to each other, or just one, which could be really cool. So the retreat room, we decided we were going to paint it this beautiful blue that works with the foyer as well. And on the wall, the wall over here, in this retreat room here, right here, I was thinking, what if we did some kind of a panel? It doesn't have to be floor to ceiling. It could just be like a couple of panels on that back wall of a wallpaper that looks really great. We could just have them framed from Michaels or something like that. And then have right there that Great Shays sectional. And then you're going to send me a picture of your the desk that you have from Pottery Barn, and we can maybe do a chair that works really well together. So these are the two fabrics that I absolutely adore. This for the foyer, this for the mudroom, this for the vanity wall of the powder room, which I think would be really pretty. So for the mudroom, I just need a little bit more info from you. I love this and would love to have our carpenter price this out. Something really simple, white, painted, a shelf, this kind of a bench with this great kind of detail, I think would be really beautiful. You sent me this, and I didn't know if you meant this to be like you. I know you like the wallpaper. I really prefer this one better. I think it's so classic, and I think you will absolutely love it. But let me know if you mean this kind of a bench and then something above, maybe with a mirror. I'm just totally into this. So here we go here again. And I'm going to again refer some of these spaces for this part. So this is the Pottery Barn Seadrift, which is really beautiful. And this was the table that you liked. It's the Banks extendable table. This is the one that I really love. I think it's super pretty. It's right about the same price range. I think it has a simpler look. This almost feels a little like folksy to me, where this feels classic and feels like it goes along with every single thing that we're doing. It's the same kind of size on the extendable table. So if you look over here, we have this here. This is where it extends. So I think if you go with this table, I would leave the leaves in them, because if you don't, it's going to be only this big, which feels pretty small. This is where it extends. So I love with the leaves in them. I think it's super, super, super beautiful. You can see here, this is the extension. And then if we have a chair here and a chair here, it's not going to feel like it takes over that space. So again, my love is for this in the Seadrift, in the extendable table. So I put a couple of things in this for us to look at. I'm not sure why this is too big here, but we'll move this over. So these are the chairs that I love. They're from Studio McGee, and I think they're really beautiful. These are the ones that you had mentioned that you liked for the counter, which I love. So my thoughts would be to do this. My thoughts would be to do this in the counter, and then these for the chairs, and then these for the end chairs. So to have two of these, the rest of these around the table, and to have these in the have these around the table, these at the end of the table, two of these, four of these, or however many we need. This is my top choice for the light for over the island. This is another top choice here. And then this for over the table, I think would be beautiful. This was the other option. So here we have these Serena and Lily chairs, and they're pretty. I ordered a sample of the color because they're called linen. So if they're like a white, I think that could work really, really well too. And this is the table that you like. And these are the pendants that you like as well. Again, I don't love those. And I think this would maybe go with it. We might need to find something else if you decide you want to do that. This is the Serena and Lily backless stool that works with these. I don't know how you feel about those. So let's talk about that. So these just kind of show, I think it's super, super beautiful. I wouldn't do a rug under the table. I think that it's just it just makes for a mess. But if you feel like you want to do that, we can definitely look for something that works with that. So these are the stools, which I love. These are the chairs, all very reasonable. I think that this is a huge, important part of that space, and it's going to be like a wowza moment. So then for the coffee table for that space, well, let's start out with the sofa and the chair. So you love this chair. I'm waiting for a sample of this driftwood so that we can look at it with the table. We can look at it with the coffee table. I love this sofa from Serena and Lily. Let's look at this with the performance fabric. I think it's really, really beautiful. I think that it's just an amazing sofa. We can look at some other ones. This has actually storage. We would do the one without the storage, so it would be less expensive. So it would just be the sofa and not like the under storage here. You don't need that. This was the one that you sent. To be honest with you, I don't love it. I think it looks kind of traditional, and I don't like the look of it. And this is the same sofa, just in a different fabric that I pulled off their website. So this rug that you love from Serena and Lily, I love it too. We put that into plan in the 12 by 18 in the room here. So I'll go back to over here. So this is actually 11 by 14, which is a size that they offer. And that looks really great. And this is that bobbin chair, and this is the Serena and Lily sofa. We put a table behind here, and I think it works really well. And this we'd go a little bit longer on that built-in that we're getting a price from our carpenter on. So let's look at all of that and figure out pricing for everything. Depending upon what chairs we do for the table, if we do the white linen chairs, we might want to do this coffee table from Serena and Lily. I can show you these in the different sizes. I think that could be really pretty. Or we do something that matches the chair wood and also works really well with the wood on the tables. So let's find out when we get those samples of this, how that works with the dining tables. And then we can figure out the coffee table. Let's definitely go with this. I think it's really beautiful. These were some other chairs that you liked. Let me know your thoughts on these. I think they're pretty. I just don't know if they'd be comfortable. These are some chairs from Pottery Barn, which I think could be pretty too. This is another chair from McGee & Co., which I think could be pretty. But I do really, really love this direction, with these being on the counter, the counter stools, and then these at the end, and these around the table. I think it would be really, really beautiful. So as we're going on there, we have decided that we are getting a price from our carpenter to do this, which I think would be just magnificent. and then switch this over to this. We're getting a price on that, which I think would be great. This was a table that I really liked from Pottery Barn, I think it was, or from West Elm, one of the two. And we could put this behind the sofa. This comes in a kind of a whitish kind of wood. So I would either paint it or see how this works with whatever we do in the other areas. So then for your bedroom, I love this. I've ordered some fabrics for back here, but I'm thinking that if we keep this fabric simple, I think that would be beautiful. I got a sample of this rug from Serena and Lily that is so pretty. I think it would be really beautiful and kind of continue the flow of the first floor with our blues. I would do this as a bedspread, just a simple white bedspread. This is one's from Serena and Lily. And then I'd fold this one at the end, which is really beautiful. I'm going to send you the dressers and the dresser and the nightstands and then some lights for that room as well. I don't know if we need wallpaper for the back wall. If we do, we thought that possibly we could use the grass cloth with that, which I think would be really pretty, and keep it kind of subtle. This is also a beautiful, really subtle paper. So is this. But let's look at all of those compared to the rug in that room, which I think would be just so, so beautiful. So then in terms of every place else, I'm going to start to work on the loft, which I love this kind of direction, the really bright white. And then we're going to work on the deck today. And I know you have furniture, but we may put that downstairs depending upon what you think. Let's figure out the budget for where we're at. I think that with those lights for over the island that I like, I think we'd still be within your 150, but let's look at all of that once the pricing for the built-in comes in. These are two mirrors that I thought we could use for the bathrooms. They're both very reasonably priced and in stock. I would definitely do the brass. I love this. I also love this with just like the squared off corners. So let me know your thoughts on that. We can keep them all the same, or we can kind of do different. For your bathroom, I was thinking if we did this one right here and put it horizontally, I think that that would be really beautiful if we did two of those. However, we could also do these for the bathrooms. They're very reasonable. We could do them horizontally. This is another one that's a little bit more expensive than the last one, but we could do these too. I think this one would be great, and Elena's bathroom, just because we're going to do that over the vanity, over the mirror. I think this over the bathroom could be great there. And for Dennis's, we're not going to do the light fixture, but these are just some other options too. And for Dennis's, we're not, just because there's not enough space there above the mirror. I don't think you need it to. You have that sconce that's right there. So tell me which ones you like. And again, we'll start to order. And again, this was the rug that I got samples of for the bedroom. So that's pretty much it so far. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear your thoughts and get a plan together. Let me know after you've had a chance to look through all of this, what you're thinking, and where you want to go and how you want to do this. We have everything go to a receiver. And what they do is they inspect everything, and then they keep it until we're ready to bring everything to your house to have it installed. We always do that. However, where we're doing a lot of retail for your house, we aren't allowed to send trade stuff. So anything that we get that's made by the trade, which isn't really anything so far, we would have to send to a receiver. But here, if you're willing to be there at your place when they're going to deliver, that's a less expensive option. We could also meet them. However, we charge for our time, so it might be less expensive for you to do it. So let's talk about all of this, and let me know when you've had a chance to look through it. And I can't wait. This is going to be so beautiful. Trust me.